you back, folks. You'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, everyone. Hello, friends and enemies, humans and androids alike, and welcome to Girls Run These Worlds. And also thank you for joining me in the Travelodge of Nottingham, and this wide void. And thank you for all for joining the stream. My name is Fiona. I use she, her pronouns, and I have the incredible honour and privilege of being tonight's game mother for this incredible cast of folks. Now, before I ask our wonderful cast to introduce themselves, let me tell you a little bit more about Alien and what the stream is at the top of the session. So the Alien RPG is published by Freely, who is also known for some absolutely cracking tabletop RPGs, Tales from the Loop, also Tales from the Loops, Vaesen, Forbidden Lands, Coriolis, Dragonbane, and of course The Walking Dead that is coming out very, very soon. And there's lots of Kickstarters out just now. There's certainly for the One Ring. I think they've got the new Moria expansion, so go check those out after the stream on the Kickstarter. As you may have guessed, I'm a massive fan of their games. I'm also a massive fan of franchises like Alien and Sci-Fi horror. So all of this is like perfection. So if you're watching this and you're like, I want to try out Alien, we're going to drop a link in the chat below where you can get it. And of course, as always, a massive thank you to Free League for sponsoring the stream. Now, with all that in mind, the world of Alien and also this world of this Travelodge is incredibly bleak and a dark place, with lots of focus on mature themes, horror and violence. Yes, I know, I've experienced it myself in this void. As with all campaigns here at Girls Run These Worlds, the cast and I have had our session 0, we've gone over our lines and veils, and we have safety tools in effect. However, I just want to say to you, the viewers out there, those people watching us play these games, and possibly the other people on my floor, I just want to give you the full permission that should, you need to, be sure to be safe and take a break from watching our story or listening to me through the wall, should you need it. As I always say, you are more important than the rolls on the table. Now, finally, I want to say before we go to our cast, is that this scenario that we're using for this series is Destroyer of Worlds, the second cinematic scenario written by Andrew E.C. Gasker in the 26th Draconic arc. I just would like to ask those folks who have run it or played it through the scenario just to be a bit mindful and not put spoilers in the chat and keep secrets until after the stream, because if you do put spoilers in the chat, then I can't guarantee your safety from either this Travelodge or any of the xenomorphic mods that might be in the chat. But as always, you and the Travelodge have my sympathies. Now, I'm going to go to our wonderful cast. We're going to go clockwise, starting with our wonderful captain. Name, pronoun of yourself and the character you're playing this evening, and of course the icebreaker question, which I thought was a great question, but I got told I was evil off camera for doing this. But our icebreaker question tonight is, what is your best way to de-stress? What is your best way to de-stress? So there you go. I'm going to hand it over to Abigail.
Hi, I'm Abigail. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Captain Silva, who also uses she, her pronouns. And my best way to de-stress is to journal. It is the best thing to do when you are super stressed, but handwriting is really bad during that time. So win-lose situation.
Fair enough. I love that. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Sharmini. Oh, I think you're on mute, Sharmini.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. Yes, I am Shamini. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Dante. Still, Dante's fine. Everything's fine. She also uses she, her pronouns. I think, for some people, a good way to distress might be like to have like a really nice, really close buddy that, they really get on with and that can just like, they can chat to. Maybe they shoot things together, like similar hobbies and interests, I think that's really important for like people's mental health generally. So don't let Fiona near your friends.
Me? Am I the villain? I don't think I'm the villain. Thank you very much. Next up is Jill.
Hi, I'm Jill, also known as Ghosty JK on the internet. I use she, they pronouns, and I will be playing Iona. Ignore what it says down there. Just don't pay attention to it. My way to distress. I like watching ASMR. Is that weird?
Mm-hmm.
I have like a lot of like neurological issues, and that helps like calm the nervous system. And so I found that's really great for stress relief as well.
Nice. Do you have any videos of choice or any you particularly go to?
I like personal attention stuff where it's like they're like interacting with the camera, that tends to be the most like tingly stuff for me. And even if I'm not getting like the full ASMR effect, it's still relaxing.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, thank you very much. Next up, I have Humaloo.
It's me, Emma, or Hamley on the internet. I use she, they pronouns. I am playing Roach Mason, who uses they, them. I also watch ASMR. It's not my answer, but it's the flashlights for me, like Doctor Thing when they're doing that light, because it causes your pupils to dilate, and that affects the nervous system. My go-to though is wholesome slice of life computer games. I like a whole range of computer games, but thinking things like Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing, or at the moment I'm playing a lot of Palia. And I just find that it's chill, it's resource management, and it helps the ADHD. So yeah, that is my main way to calm down, de-stress.
Fantastic. Oh, sound great. Thank you very much. And then last but by no means least, Emily.
Emily, I'm Emily. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Chaplin, an android who uses any pronouns that you feel is appropriate, including, I don't know, never mind. I was almost gonna say Stardew Valley myself. My real answer I can't say because this isn't an OnlyFans stream, so I'm gonna go with like yoga and meditation and like a nice cup of tea with some like Zen vibe music and some incense, just like a whole room vibe of Zen.
Tea does not be made in the microwave.
No, absolutely not. What kind of monster would do that? I use a kettle, like I was about to say like a red-blooded American, but like the opposite of that.
Ooh, I can feel the chat already like burning up from here. Thank you so much, my wonderful, wonderful cast. And of course, I would remiss me not to say what my best way to de-stress is. My best way to de-stress, no joke, is to play games like Alien, but be as the game mother. And it works beautifully. Can highly recommend.
Wow.
Wow. No, my real answer is actually, yeah, as Emily kindly said, yeah, cups of tea. Weirdly, I like making a cup of tea and then just sitting there and going, and making sure I focus on like finishing the drink whilst listening to some music as well. So yeah, no, fantastic. So with what a fine unit of Marines we have here. It's all wonderful and good. But before we begin our story, let's talk quickly about our main game mechanic and what you will see coming up in Alien tonight. So when a character wants you to do something where there's a little bit of risk, I will ask them what they're doing. What are you doing? Roll, and then ask them for a roll that combines one of their attributes and a related skill. By adding their levels in that attribute and skill together, that's going to create a dice pool of d6s in the roll. And then they will roll that. In most situations, they must roll at least 1 6 to succeed on a task at hand. It's very simple, very straightforward. Even I could do it sometimes. However, life on the cutting edge of space, it can be pretty brutal, and this is where the stress mechanic comes in. So when making skill rolls, I will also ask the characters to add in a number of d6s that are related to their stress level. So for example, if they were doing, say, a melee combat sort of thing, I might go strength close combat, which might be up to like 5 base die, but they have 2 stress, I'll add another 2 to the pool as well. However, if they roll a 1 on 1 or more of their stress dice, the character risks panicking, and well, if you panic, things go south pretty quickly. So naturally, the more stressed a character is, the more chance they have of succeeding on difficult tasks such as shooting things and getting out of dodge, all that good stuff. But there's also the chance of failing with very, very bad consequences. So one thing I will add is that players can also push their rolls, grabbing any dice that doesn't show a success and re-rolling them. This is not without risk, however, because pushing a roll increases a character's stress level, and they must include that new stress in the roll. They can only push the skill roll once, unless they have a talent that says otherwise, and they can push any skill roll except ones that already contain a 1 on the stress dice or on a death roll. Now, one thing I will add, because we do have an android in the party with us, is that android characters operate under, hello, it's me, operate under slightly different rules. Due to their programming, they cannot get stress or panic, which is quite wonderful, but as a result, they cannot push their rolls either. final bit I want to mention is one of the more unique elements of Alien is personal agendas. This cinematic scenario is split into 3 acts, and we finally finished Act 1 last time, so now we're in Act 2. And essentially, for each act, our characters have a secret agenda that motivates their choices. Now, I've said to the players they do not have to have, they do not have to be motivated to carry out this action, but if they do, then they'll get a story point, and a story point means an automatic success on any roll they choose. So it can be quite valuable. And yes, we are in Act 2, so everyone has new agendas. And just for the stream as well, everybody completed their agenda last time. So the Act 1 agendas, everyone gets a story point. So what I'd say to my wonderful crew is that keep an eye on those, because they might be useful. So with all that out of the way, is my team ready for the recap? Sounds good. All right, so we find our Marines on the United America's refining and refueling station on the frozen moon of Aryarchus in the Kruger 60 system. This moon has been a major refinery and exporter of petroleum fuels for nearly a century, with its oil production and space elevator reaching into orbit from the ground. The ongoing oil wars involving the United Americas, the Free World Empire, and the Union of Progressive Peoples, or UPP, have been facing each other down over scarce oil resources. This has kind of left quite a mark on the colony's population, with mostly their mood and loyalty, leading Aryarchus becoming a hotbed of insurgency. Political tensions have risen quite substantially as a couple of weeks ago, the UPP annexed a nearby 61 Sydney system, and all the communications with the twin colony LV-038 were lost. So following this, there was an emergency evacuation of the whole colony of Aryarchus, and this was in progress until the early hours of this morning, where all transports were grounded with no explanation given. Until Fort Nebraska's commanding officer, Colonel Myers, says otherwise, the evacuation of Aryarchus is suspended until further notice. Now, our Marines make up Charlie Team, a unit handpicked by Major Hatfield from the infamous Sin Eaters for a special Moonside mission. Their mission was to track down 4 missing Marines, Wojciech, Carvello, Wright, and Reese, who are all in possession of some top secret intelligence that cannot fall into the wrong hands. Confirm their identities and the identities of those people the intelligence might have been passed on to, and then bring them in. But deadly force had been authorized. And, well, after landing on the roof of the insurgents' compound last time and hearing screams from within, it was decided that Dante, with her broken leg, should be airlifted to safety and would rendezvous with Iona and Zimajewski in their APC. Hammer and Mason were chosen to do a quick sweep of the upper landing of the compound to see if they could find their missing Marines. And they did find them. Lance Corporal Wright had been tied up to a radiator in the guest bedroom and ultimately was the source of sobbing that Hammer had heard through the skylight. After being released, Wright confessed that she believed that she was living on borrowed time, as, just like the other missing Marines, she had been attacked by some face-hugging monsters, creatures that, whilst escorting Project Lifeforce cargo during the evacuation. She believed that the creature inside of her could erupt at any moment, despite being inoculated with the 26 Draconis variant, just like the other Marines had been done. After fighting with the other Marines about not trusting the UPP, Wright had been picked up by the insurgents not long after she'd left the Eye of Oblivion bar and had been held in the compound ever since. She was aware that Sergeant Wojciech, the last Marine, had been picked up as well a little while later, and as far as she knew, was being held in the bedroom next door, alone. You know, that bedroom with the broken door frame and the big blood smear going into it. Hammer and Mason slowly crept into the main bedroom to discover that indeed the sergeant had been held here. Except it wasn't Wojciech anymore. It was just something wearing Wojciech's skin. An intense battle occurred between Charlie Team and the transformed Wojciech creature, a battle which unfortunately did not end well for Private Hammer, who died with one dreadful but beautiful bite to the head. A head bite blow, so to speak. Chaplin, in the confusion of the fighting, made a snap decision and shot the one alive Marine right in an attempt to eliminate more of the xenomorphic material from getting away. Through the combined efforts of Mason and Chaplin, they barely managed to defeat the creature before it tried to kill Captain Silver too. In the aftermath of the fight, as the remnants of Charlie Team regrouped at the APC just outside the compound, their radio burst into life, issuing direct emergency orders to return to Fort Nebraska base immediately. But this missive was cut short as blasts echoed around the colony. The fort's railgun cannons began to launch giant spikes into the sky, and USMC evac fighters screamed across the skyline, firing as UPP dropships descended from the cloud cover. War had finally come to Ariarchus. And that is where we open our scene. So, my wonderful, wonderful Charlie Team, you are just outside the compound there. The doors are open. Currently, Dante is on the back seat, probably strapped up well, because obviously you just got in, Dante, with Iona and Zimajewski in the back. And yet all of your responders burst in this, and it got cut off like that, and you can just see the skyline around you starting to cloud. You can even hear, all of you can hear, there are some shouts and screams from the civilians at this moon base. There's also cheering. You suspect the insurgents are quite glad that the UPP have arrived. What are you doing?
Can I confirm we're back in the van and the dropship is gone?
Unfortunately, the dropship has left.
Yeah.
For convenient plot reasons.
Exit stage right.
Yeah, pilot Fiona was
How
clearly called
convenient.
away.
And I wouldn't want to be a person like in a dropship in that scenario. So
Yeah, you definitely.
Great, does it?
Yeah, exactly. I think poor pilot Fiona's like, oh shit, as various big fights are about to happen in the sky.
It's okay. I did a 3-point turn. We're ready to go. We can leave whenever we need to. And I would suggest like soon.
Yeah. Fort Nebraska.
Is there a safe path there from what we can see? Safer path?
Well, here's the things. You know that dropships are going to be firing quite a lot of guns at each other, but also things can fall out of the sky. So it might be that you might have to just go do a big speed there, or you might take some back roads to make sure you're safe. Because this is the other thing, you're not the only ones on this base. There might be other people trying to get to Fort Nebraska. You can see as well, I think at this point, you definitely see there are UPP's dropships heading over into the direction of where the spaceport was. And there's definitely lots of noises coming from there. So you don't think getting out of spaceport, unfortunately, will be easy, if possible.
Yeah. Is it fair to say that the general vibe we've got now that we understand the nature of the people who are living here, that we, to a fair amount of people, are the enemy?
What gave that away?
I mean,
I don't
I
know.
don't know. Maybe the chorus of cheers as these people descend from the sky.
I feel like, being
You-
subtle
yes,
about our movements might be clever.
Yeah, 100%. You definitely had like a various anti-United America propaganda put up. I think I mentioned that on one of our very first sessions. You saw it around that people are supporting the UPP coming here because of what's been happening. But that doesn't mean it's a good thing. They might just, is that false belief perhaps? So yeah, it's a bit. You guys basically have a massive target on your back, and you're a little bit far from home, unfortunately.
Roach is happy to go along with whatever people are doing. I imagine they have probably got the music blasting again because, to close out their own thoughts a bit.
And the explosions.
And the explosions, and just sit by a window and just like, disassociate a little. Just gonna be over here vibing, everyone.
Are we assuming that you've recapped what happened or not, or just take it from this point?
I would expect that you would have the same knowledge from if you were here last time, Dante.
Yeah.
But I'll let any role play. If you want to ask any questions of him, please do feel free to. And anything. To
I'm just wondering whether Chaplin said anything about right, as in like what was the,
Mm.
because I can't remember
Ooh,
who
and
saw
I don't-
what. I'm not sure anyone saw that. Like, how
I-
was that like
I
explained?
don't think anyone did saw that, unless I think the only other person that would have been on the roof would have been Captain Silver.
Captain Silver, Roach had just got
I
there.
I
Yeah,
came up
Roach was
as the
just
shot
coming
happened
up, yeah.
because I'd ran
Mm.
away and like landed, and that's what caused you to then shoot because you were like, shit's hitting the fan.
Yeah.
So I think I'm
Wow.
aware, but I don't think Roach is coming down here to be a snitch about that.
No, I was.
Right, and
Can I
Chaplin
assume that
hasn't
it's
said
not been
anything.
mentioned, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chaplin is fully just sitting next to Roach and just like head down, staring at the ground like this and not talking to anyone unless directly engaged at the moment.
Disassociation besties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
here's the thing. Suddenly, as you're all getting ready to like get back to the port, you can feel underneath the APC a rumble happen, and you look over, and there is now deliberate bombardment of Fort Nebraska. You can see it. It's, you know, you can make the outline. You can see the space elevator from here, and you can see there are dropships going in, dropping things, and there is a massive explosion. And Chaplin, suddenly, you feel it. Something detaches itself from you. Something suspends that feeling, that alien, shall we say, programming, gone. Its influence has been withdrawn.
Oh God. Oh God. Important question. What is my memory situation like in this situation? Like, what do I remember?
I'm going to leave that up to yourself, Emily.
Okay,
because
solid.
you are the character in this. Because it does
Fair enough.
say in the scenario, but I would like you to, because it's your character.
Okay. Oh my God. Someone get these away from me, please. And
What?
Chaplin starts like taking off the gun and like the grenade belt and like looks like horrified at them. Sorry.
Are you okay?
I think so. I feel like I just woke up from a dream, but it's still happening.
I
But
want to ask the obvious question, but do androids dream?
I never have before, but the last few days have felt like what I would expect a dream would be like.
Few days?
Yes. It's so hazy. I can't believe I shot that woman. I can't believe.
Are you malfunctioning? Is your brain breaking down? Because this is not a good time at all.
No,
like,
it's really not.
I hate to direct
sorry.
everyone's attention to the explosions happening outside the APC, but we might want to move a little bit.
we're moving, right? Oh wait, are we moving? Are we not
Captain,
moving?
Captain, do you want to take the fast route or the safer route?
The
Because I
fast
feel like
route, there's no safe route right now. There is a
Also,
war.
the
The
place
fast
we're
route, go on
going-
the fast route right now.
Okay. Fast route, got it. Also, the place we're going, isn't that getting bombed right now?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But everywhere else is going to be bombed too. So we gotta go.
Okay, got it.
It's at least where we know our people should be. Look over like with
Before they got
trepidation
bombed?
at the well.
Wait, no, sorry. Look, have we done the mission or have we not done the mission?
We have done the mission.
I
Okay,
mean, we got
so
called
in a
back no matter
sense-
what, right?
So
Yeah.
have we got a new mission? Like, fuck these dropships, for example. Kill a bunch of people. Like, what are we doing?
Our new mission is to go to the fort. It is to report to base.
That
There's-
mission, was that from before base
Nope.
got bombed to shit? Okay. Sure. I mean, I just
It's
Go
from 2
told.
minutes ago, Dante.
okay, sure, it's probably fine.
Just background scene while the chat is happening. I think Roach is gonna reach over and take one of Chaplin's hands, just to let them know that like Roach is there.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm. The Marines are dealt with. We got given new orders, but they were cut off as the bombs started. So yeah, I guess we could go back there. We at least need to go and see if anyone needs help.
I feel like there's something dangerous at the base. I don't remember what, but
I think there's something dangerous everywhere.
yes, but
Fair
Yeah,
point.
but your like positronic brain is breaking right now, Chaplain. So like maybe don't go via like gut instinct. Do you have gut
gut feeling.
instinct?
I
Yeah, I wouldn't trust
it's
that.
an important
personally.
program
No
for
offense.
a being to have. Fair enough.
Did you
Well,
say
we
you
can
shot
approach-
someone?
One of the Marines we were told to deal with, she had something in her chest. It's fine. And I just lock eyes with Chaplain as I give your hand a squeeze.
Oh, you shot her. Yeah, that makes
Squeeze
sense.
hand back.
Sure.
Squeeze hand back.
Yeah. Why don't we approach Fort Nebraska? Not necessarily go storming the keep, but go and get closer eyes on what the situation is before we decide. Let's just head in that direction, and we've all trained in our fields. We were selected for a reason. I'm assuming we are all good at what we do. Let's just go and react to what we see.
I'm
We got
always good at
this.
what she did. Didn't work out that well then.
Iona, for your first roll of the game, I would like you to do an agility piloting check to see if you can conflate both getting there ASAP from Captain Silver, but also sneaky.
All right.
And that will include, obviously, your 2 stress.
Yes. You said that was agility
Piloting. Yeah.
That is 1 success
Mm.
and a 1 on the stress.
Oh no!
die.
Stressful driving.
I don't know. Silly bitty.
No, it just happened.
Such a silly goose.
Silly goose. Let's roll that panic check then. So, of course, roll your d6, add your stress level, which is 2 currently.
6.
6. Okay, so you're keeping it together. Just you. I think you've had an all right time of it so far. I don't want to say Iona is a coward. Absolutely not at all. But you're used to following orders and staying here. And now, shit
I'm
has
in the
hit the
thick of
fan.
it. Yeah.
You're here, and you're not supposed to be here. So you're tightly grabbing onto the steering wheel, knuckles cracking. Your little I don't think we put it like a hula girl or whatever on this APC, but I now you
there
have
absolutely
one.
has to be
Yeah.
a hula girl on the dash.
Yeah, it's a hula marine, randomly.
Custom made.
Yeah, exactly. And it's bobbing quite a bit. If anything, that's where the stress is going. You're being quite cool and collected, but the hula marine is like, it's going.
Which
everywhere.
legit, honestly, yeah.
Mhm. So you are keeping it together. You're maneuvering through the streets. You're not going as fast as you would like. And I think Captain Silver, you'll probably feel this frustration as well, because, well, here's the thing. Suddenly around you, buildings start to be obliterated. Not directly where you are, thanks to that great check from Iona, but there's definitely debris, and there are people running in the street, so you have to be very careful and maneuver stuff. At one point, you're going through a street, and people start throwing stuff at you, not necessarily weapons or Molotov cocktails, but what they have to hand, because they do not want you folks here, but you definitely do it. But in the meantime, Captain Silver, your responder goes off. A private message for you.
Dang, is it?
Do you answer?
Yeah, I got nothing else to do, and I'm getting all stressed out that we're not moving fast.
The beep beep. Captain Silver, I hope I'm not calling at a bad time.
Hello again.
It's Mallory. I know it doesn't necessarily come up on the.
No, I know.
Oh,
Impeccable timing.
oh, good. It's just that. Well, you're good to laugh at this, but I seem to follow. I did say my dog trackers were keeping an eye on you and your team, and it sounded like you managed to get to a compound and destroy my experiments. Did we not have an agreement? Or were you still
No.
thinking on it? Yeah.
No, we did not have an agreement, actually, so.
You have cost me so much money, Captain Silver. So much money. Do you know what I do to people who lose my money?
No, but I'm guessing you're going to tell me or show me. Or both.
Look in the rearview mirror. And as you look, you can see roughly about in yards, which is not my forte, I will say, about 70 yards back, also following your path, two much smaller trucks, armor plated, blacked out windows. Now here's the thing. I know that one of your little team has had experience with my experiments from a previous mission. Don't ask how I know, but it was fascinating when I read that record. How about this? No hard feelings if you hand them over to me. Soon you'll oh, I don't know if you're silent or if your internet is buffering.
The internet's cutting out so much I can't even respond. I'm so sorry. I keep going to respond and everything freezes.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll cut it short, so we'll help you out. So, what do you say
you.
to
No.
Mallory? Do you say no and hang up? Like,
Yeah, I just say no, not interested. Hang up.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, she doesn't do a witty response like she would have done because of internet issues. Weirdly, a phone tower goes down just as you beep beep out. So, yes. Now here's the question, Captain. Like, obviously, I presume you would have had that privately, but with that final no, would you have done anything? Would you have let people know what was happening?
I would just say, Wayland Yutani wants Roach, and we're not gonna allow that. So
I'm sorry, what?
What?
sorry, Wayland Yutani wants Roach, and that's a
Don't we
nope.
all?
Kaplan squeezes Roach's hand tighter.
Wayland Yutani.
What?
Oh.
Like, because they need someone to flamethrower things, or
I ran out of the gas on that one, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I have a refill somewhere.
Like, yeah, they have their fingers at everything, but like, what do
Why-
they want with a marine?
I don't know. Talk amongst yourselves about this because I'm freezing.
It is very cold on Ariakas just now, so
Yeah.
it makes total sense.
That's unsettling.
you're very desirable, Roach.
Am I? Okay.
Apparently,
Yeah. Well,
probably a compliment, I guess.
I keep
What about the
trying to
rest of
tell you.
us? Why don't what's Roach got that we don't got? Eh? I've got skills.
Experience.
they're multiplying. Experience.
Two functioning legs.
I mean, I'm not gonna offer myself.
Oh, you mean with right. I have experience with these things.
Well, we're
I
not
don't know
giving
why.
I
up.
thought. Wait a
No.
sec. I thought that Oh, I thought that Colonel Myers put the things in the things in the people, the alien chest things in the people. Is that not
Did
Colonel
he?
Myers? Did I get? Have I?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
No, he
Yeah,
did.
they
He
did.
absolutely
There's,
did.
No,
there's
he
two.
did.
There's
That was
two.
Chaplin. Yeah.
There's two head people. There's Major
Yeah.
Hatfield, who gave you the briefing, who now
Oh,
no
yeah,
longer
yeah.
exists in the story,
Yeah.
because spoilers, Fort Nebraska's been kind of taken out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you have Colonel
Deleted.
Myers. Yeah, deleted for now. And then Colonel Myers is the one that's behind, like, it seems to be named effect, and he's the one that's been stopping the evacuation. And you think, and I don't think this is a spoiler or anything, I think you've worked it out,
No.
he's connected to Project Life Force in
Project
some way.
Life Force.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that Weyland-Yutani was involved until now.
No.
Right?
No,
I believe
that
so,
was
yeah.
a
Yeah.
Captain Silva thing.
Why
This is the
are-
new information. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm kind of, yeah.
Why
No
are
worries.
Weyland-Yutani involved?
Oh god. They've been involved. Project Life Force. It's an experiment, and
Okay.
they're the
Just-
ones who had the Marines and turned them into what they became.
Oh, that doesn't mean that they want to do that with.
Probably. So we're
Yeah.
not
I mean,
gonna
we're
do
not gonna
that.
find out, right? Like we're just not gonna go there.
No.
That's
I mean,
the
they'd get
plan.
information first, but then they might want to learn more, have another subject. So we're not gonna let that happen.
And like, we don't work for them, so if any of them came up and we blew them up, say, you know, no one could criticize us for that,
Hey,
right?
If the orders or anyone that knows about this shit needs to be dealt with, then they can be dealt with.
Yes, they can be dealt with. Heck yes, right, we're
Yeah.
dealing with them right
Okay.
now. Where are they? Let's go
Okay.
find them.
Okay,
Suddenly
okay,
feeling a bit
Dante,
pumped
Dante,
about this.
Dante,
Okay.
just
Yeah.
take a breather. Okay, we're in a very stressful situation right now. I get that.
Another building falls behind you.
Yep,
Ignore
have
that.
right on time.
someone
we
to shoot.
we
What
need to
do we
focus
do?
on getting
How do
out
we-
right now.
Okay. Because spaceport sounds like it's a hot mess, so I don't know if that's an option. Fort Nebraska is being
Past tense.
past tense.
Supposedly, the only other way off was through the insurgents, and that's not a good idea right now.
I don't think
Mm.
they'd be very welcoming.
Probably not.
Are we're in a Colonial Marines branded van on a road. Is there
Yes.
traffic? From time to time, this traffic exists here, right? We're not like the only vehicle within miles.
You were, I think for sake, so you were kind of one of the only vehicles going around because there was an evacuation and there wasn't many people left, and you think were all at the spaceport.
Do I
Um,
notice the two
yeah.
trucks behind us?
Oh yeah. I think as soon as Captain Silver goes, Weyland-Yutani, you look, yeah, you find, and they're following. They've not in the time that you've spoken about it and trying to plan stuff. They've not approached. They've not shot at you. They're just following you. They're just tailing you for now.
See, what I'm thinking is, I don't really want to be driving around this rapidly UPP-ifying place with our whole like logo on the outside. And those are some nice looking trucks behind us. What if we blow everyone up and take the trucks?
Well, we have to make sure not to blow up the trucks then.
Oh, well, probably quite tough.
That would make driving them a little difficult.
Singe.
yes.
We'll singe them. I'll try. I can't make any promises, right?
Listen, yeah, okay.
It's either that or try and lose them and still drive, around with a target on our backs. We kind of are just like flying our colors willy-nilly right now.
Zimajewski will speak up at this point and go, yes, there is I used Gatling gun before, and there's also cannon turret. We used it when we went into thing. So we could open doors and like surprise.
I honestly do
Right.
like that. I honestly
Yeah,
do
yeah,
like that.
Armored vehicles tough, but if we go for their tires.
Yeah, slow them down.
Yeah, but I want the truck.
Well,
we have
that
tires.
might not
we
be
can.
We have matching tires.
Oh, how
Well,
convenient.
Okay,
I don't know how tires work, so sure, yeah. Okay.
we only need to deal with one vehicle then. So that
We
we're
could blow it
dealing
up.
with, right, and then drive for a bit, and then we're only dealing with one set of assholes.
Blow them up.
Listen, if they're coming for me, I don't want to just be like, oh, let's just figure our shit out. Let's stop and wait these people.
Oh, so maybe hide for a bit. Is that what you're thinking?
No,
Try
blow them
and
up.
like go around a corner to like lose sight of like break line of sight.
And then maybe back around
Mm.
the back?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
go for one of the vehicles and go for their tires if we can, just to half the amount of problems.
You're gonna have to like angle the truck so that I can shoot without getting out.
Iona's
yeah.
a badass driver. Iona's got it handled.
because I
They-
can't really walk.
yeah.
So
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I'd say for the sake of cool plot that I don't know if anyone's seen Ghostbusters Afterlife, but there's a chair that shoots out and back.
Oh,
Dante will be on that
yes.
chair if you want.
Yes. Just slide out, ready to go. Oh.
Yeah, I think that's a yes from Dante.
Yeah, yeah.
sure, if you need someone to.
I mean, like, I
Chat.
can if you want.
You just have to go really tight around that corner, Iona, so that Dante gets the full force.
Mhm.
So, absolutely. So
Absolutely.
just so I have this right in my little game mother brain. So the plan is to go around the corner and then shoot at them, like surprise them in some way, or is it like to go around behind them, or like what's the plan, just so I know?
Are we like fast enough that we could circle around behind them while they're trying to follow us?
Well, so you would have to make a check.
Okay.
If you fail the check, I'd say they might get the jump on you. But if
Mhm.
you pass the check, then you'd maybe have a bit of an advantage because, yeah.
Do we want
But
to risk
otherwise,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
you could just go around the corner and then have
Break check 'em.
unleash Dante. That
Listen,
third
it's
weapon that's on him.
Yeah, it's Act 2, baby. Go big or go home.
And risk it while you have 2 stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now's the time.
So you're going to try and get behind them.
If we can, yes.
All right, let's do another agility piloted check, which apologies, I only just read that. Yes, you get a modification for the car you're driving. You get a +1 for maneuverability. So you add another +1 to your base on that, and then to stress.
I'm sorry, my cat's destroying a box right behind my computer.
I think
now,
this is
so-
this is the tense like driving thing.
Yeah, they're relieving this stress for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's agility piloting +1.
+1. Yeah.
That is 2 successes.
Oh, nice
then-
work.
No ones on the stress.
Wow. But Iona, my love, you know, you could always push the roll and get some more successes. It'd be remiss of me not to tell you that.
I could, but I think I'm happy with 2.
Are you?
I think
Okay.
I am. I think I'll
Oh.
stick with it.
If you're sure. So one thing I will say, Iona, is that with stunts, because we've been using stunts for this session, so you get 1, so you do the thing, brilliant. You could there's 2 things you can do with piloting, which makes me laugh. So you can either have a +1 to related roles, so that's a +1 forward, so that if you come to do another piloting check to like maneuver, you get a +1 to that. So if you make a note of that, that's fine. Or the other thing you could do is show off. Now, I don't want to presume what Iona does, and I'm not going to say that you should mechanically do one over the other, but I'll be interested to see which one you pick.
I don't think Iona would show off.
No, I don't think she would
I don't
either.
think so. We're gonna take the +1 going forward.
All right, make a note of that and just remind me if I ask you to do another pilot check, because
Okay.
I know I will forget.
I will try my best to remember, but I do have
Yeah.
ADHD and I am
Yeah.
unmedicated.
Do not worry, I'm running a game. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, so you suddenly just like hold on, everyone, and you just do a huge turn. Everyone's gripping onto the little plasticky things or the ropes that you have in APC. And Dante, I think you're just strapping yourself in, getting out whatever gun you want, ready to go out onto the thing. So as we go around, I believe that's what probably Dante's going to do. But I just want to check with the other team members. What is it that you folks are doing? Are you going to like help out those people who are going to be shooting? Are you going to shoot yourselves? Shoot guns yourself rather than I know. I have to double check.
High stress
You never
situation.
know.
Okay, yeah.
High stress situation. But yes, are people going to try and help with the shooting and try and take out tires? Is what I'm checking.
I think that sounds sensible.
Okay.
I think
Sure.
Chaplain's going to help make sure that if Dante will let Chaplain anywhere near her, we'll try to make sure that she's strapped in and not gonna fall out of the gunner chair.
That seems safe.
That sounds good. Captain Silver, are you doing anything particular? Because you don't have to shoot weapons yourself. You could just try helping with like pointing out weak points, for example.
Yeah, I'm gonna command.
Command sounds good.
Command.
So that's your talent, isn't it? Command.
I can do it as a fast action. That's what my talent is.
Mhm.
But I'm just gonna be focusing. Well, maybe I'll fast action command and just kind of lean out the window and shoot too.
Cool. Because just remind me with that, because it's saying like what you get if they follow your orders. Is it like a plus to their dice
Yeah,
pool?
it's a +1.
Great, that's good.
Ooh.
So yeah, so I'd say then we'll do that first. We're not going to roll initiative or anything like that because they are not suspecting it. You suddenly Iona goes doubles round. You sort of maybe you stop for a second, like do an incredibly quick 3-point turn. See,
I've gotten so good at them. I've had so much practice.
You've been practicing this whole time whilst everyone else has been off doing stuff. And then suddenly you are behind one of these carriers. I would then say, like Captain Silver, you sort of go now. So that would be a +1 to everyone who is going to be shooting, which I assume will be Dante and Roach. And then Chaplain as well. I think you said you were going to help make sure Dante sort of was okay, right? So what I'd say, Dante, as well, you get another +1 because you're really secure in your little booster seats.
We don't want ones on the stress dice, or we're out of ammo.
Well, we'll find out what happens. We'll find out what happens to that. So yeah, so if you are shooting at the vehicle, I need you to roll me a agility ranged weapon attack. So that'll be a +1 for Mason on your normal base pool, and a +2 for Dante and your stress as well. So do it all separately. That's if you need to work at it like that.
So I wasn't here last time, but I feel like there was a point, possibly once everyone was back, everyone's stress went down by 1.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
yes,
so
yours would have gone down by 2 because you would have gone down by 2. I mean, it's still a very stressful situation for you, Dante, because your leg's not working. But,
happy, but...
yeah, you're a little bit. Yeah, you. This is you de-stressing your feelings. So yeah, good point.
Yeah. I don't need to roll the bonuses separately, though, do I? Just the stress.
I just to make it easier for yourself, really. So roll all your base stuff and then the stress, because that will determine whether or not you panic.
Just another one. I thankfully got no ones. I got five successes, 4 of which were on my stress dice, which I'd like to just think is the fact that I'm this stressed.
Yeah. All right.
The adrenaline is a bit intense at the moment.
So what's that total damage with your gun? So the first hit will be what the damage is, and then every success after that, those 4 hits will be
extra. So 2 is the damage because I'm using my pulse rifle. You know what? It would have been tempted to just throw a grenade into that thing, but 2, and then so that was for the first success. And then there's 4 more on top of that, so 6
damage. Okay, so I'll factor that in when I do the stuff in a second. Dante, let's work out your stuff. So what's happening with you? What's your?
I've got 2 successes,
Nice.
no failures on the stress dice.
Fantastic. And if you go to your weapon, which I think is the smart gun, right? Or
I've not got a smart gun.
I
lost the pulse rifle. I was going to use the M5 RPG launcher because it does the most damage.
Why not? Might as well, right?
Go.
Big
What's
damage.
Go home. Yeah.
So what? Is that the blast one?
Actually, that's not the blast one. Which is better, blast 9 or damage 5?
I mean, put it this way.
Is it a single
The blast one could really
object?
take out that that car, which you might not want, is the only thing I'd say. But
wait,
but
did we
what
decide
does-
which one we're aiming at? Which one we're taking out?
Well,
Well-
I'm assuming we're both aiming at the same vehicle.
Well,
Can you imagine?
no. What's Dante doing? What's Dante doing?
Are the two trucks next to each other, or is one of them in front of the other?
And you know what? I'm gonna say they're both next to each other just to make it really
Yeah.
difficult.
I'm going to say that Dante is not checking which one we're aiming at. So it's
Super.
50-50 whether it's the same one or not.
All right, so I would say
That's what I would say.
roll a d10. 1 to 5 is the same one that Mason is facing at. Otherwise, it's the other one.
8.
Okay, it's the other one. Brilliant. So I would say if you're going to use the other one, yeah, absolutely, you can use your big blasting,
Blast
like
Let's just take them
blast
both
one.
out.
Yeah.
Cool. So with that, so we'll do that blast one first. So I've got the damage for the other ones. We'll come to that one in a second. So with that blast, I want you to roll that many number of d6s. So is it a 9 blast?
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, that's how that
Yeah.
works. I forgot this last time.
It's okay. Do not
That's
worry. Do not worry.
Many, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Okay, 96s.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because here's the
loads
thing.
of ones.
Big
and one
money, no
six.
whammies. Well, yeah.
Well, but this I don't think it's a skill check you can only push on. That's
Yeah, I can't
unfortunately.
push the damage. I don't think.
No. Is there any
One,
sixes?
one,
there?
1 6.
Okay, 1 6. So here's the thing as well.
Yeah.
Is that with a blast, it doesn't just affect the vehicle, it affects the people inside the vehicle. Whereas before, the other one, you're just shooting at the tires. So I'm going to make some quick rolls.
See, they're deleting our buildings. We're deleting their people. Yeah, it's fine. Two could play at that game.
This is no, but they haven't attacked us before, have they? This is
Well, no, so these are
these are Wayland
you
Yutani
suspect
people.
the Wayland Yutani people.
Yeah, we've not even met them before. We're just gonna blow
They
them up for
didn't
no
roll
reason.
any successes. So this grenade, this RPG, and then this even with their armor, no successes. So they just flip over with that damage. It's pretty bad.
The whole truck flips.
Yep, the whole truck flips.
Yay!
Yeah, you sent a message to Mallory now, so this is good. Meanwhile, on the other side, you shoot at, I presume, the tires.
Tires, yeah. I
Rich.
was trying to take out tires, yeah.
Okay.
Trying to do this, with some modicum of moral fiber.
You you managed to take out the tires successfully, and it sort of weeds and sort of it didn't roll any success. I'm rolling poor tonight. So they sort of comes. You can see Iona, you're slowing down quite a bit at this point because you can see firstly a huge fireball happening in front of you. So you go, what? Actually,
Holy
no.
shit.
Let's do a piloting check. Actually,
Oh, boy.
agility piloting.
I get my +1 to this one.
You
Yeah.
do.
Come on,
Aha.
Iona. We believe in
remembered, I'm
you.
proud
I
of
would say as
myself.
well, Iona, this thing has just appeared in your path, so let's add that stress level up already. Let's go for it. So it's free. It's
Okay.
free now.
I will do that. So I get the +1 from the car that we're driving, the APC, and then the +1 from the
From
going
before.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 1 success, 2 successes, and a win.
Oh no.
no.
Let's roll that stress.
That's 5.
5. Yeah. Again, you're like, "Duh!" You're like, don't. If anything, you go, don't look. Oh wait, no, I need to look. And then you sort of, yeah. You manage to sort of wheel around, but you don't go crashing into it, which is more important. But yeah, so you thanks to Dante destroying one of the things easily, and then Mason shooting out the tire of the other one, which sort of wheels around and then sort of hits into some debris, goes up a little bit, goes into a wall, essentially. You can hear airbags going off inside. You can hear the people in it shouting as the fuel from this particular carrier starts to sort of go into the snow. You can see like they're trying to abandon the car, just to make sure, because I know we're not in initiative per se, but is there anything that Chaplain or Captain Silver would be doing at this point?
I think just Zimadewski was talking about Gatling guns, so if he wants to get up to the roof, I'll lend him a hand.
You sure? It seems handily done. Captain?
Whatever you want to do, honestly, this is fine.
What? Okay. Sure. Zimigjuski will go up for the sake of narrative, because obviously not an important thing per se. You handily deal with the escapees. They're sort of faceless mooks at this point, or shadows trying to get down, but you kind of got the leap on them, so to speak. But I will say, with that very quick handedly thing, you do have a different carrier now. One thing I'd say is that obviously one of the tires is blown. So that'll need time to fix, but also it's much smaller than your current APC, and there's no real armor to it. So that's the only thing to say. So you're right. What Dante said is true. It's not branded. It's kind of like you can go under the radar a little bit, but it is now more vulnerable as a result.
It might be possible, or I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but with 2 vehicles, we can make use of 2 vehicles instead of just 1 if we want to get somewhere quietly where armor's not as useful. We have options. I'm gonna go see if I can fix the tire.
I can help,
Sure.
I think.
Thank you.
Muted.
Sure.
I'm gonna stand like sort of in front of the 2 of you, facing out to whatever street this is, just to kind of watch with my gun and watch your backs.
All right. Sounds good. So those people who are working on the new acquired vehicle to do repairs, could you do for me? It's whatever. I think it's strength heavy machinery. Whatever. Yeah. So that attribute. So either one of you can do that, and the other one gives an advantage. Adds a +1 if you're helping. So whoever has the best in that, and then we'll do a wits observation for Mason in a second.
I don't have any heavy machinery dice, but I do have 4 in strength, so I could do that.
I have an 8 for that.
Yeah, I'll assist.
Okay. Give me a +1.
Yeah.
You should have look over and go, that's the tire.
Yeah, I think it's got a hole in it.
Helen just like already has his plasma torch there, and it's just like,
yes,
thank you,
Iona.
You're that one person
service.
on the ship's
Yeah.
deck that points out the obvious that you can see on the camera screen.
I'm holding the
Yeah,
flashlight for my dad working on the car.
Another Sigourney
Nice.
Weaver character, actually, if we would. Galaxy Quest, yeah.
I have 2 successes.
2 successes. So yeah, you make quick work of the mangled tire, and yeah, you open up the boot, and yeah, you find the secret cool tire underneath all the stuff. Yeah,
Secret cool.
That's where it is. Is that not it? Where you're like, well, there's nothing in the boot. Wait, a secret compartment.
Secret
It's
compartment. Oh
the
no.
emergency party tire. Anyway, it's got a red line on it, so it must be cool. Anyway, wits observation check for Mason, please. And actually, Dante and Captain Silver, you can also do one as well if you would like.
Yeah.
Captain, cool party tire, install.
What?
You heard it. That's what they're called, right?
Good job, Chaplain.
If you go fast enough, it does say party.
I got 2 successes on that somehow.
Yeah,
Nice
2
work,
successes,
Dante.
but I have a
Oh,
1 on a
success
panic
rolls.
roll.
All right, do your panic then. But yeah, 2 successes. Captain
let's go.
Silver, are you with us? And we'll come back to you in a second.
I'm just still like accidentally got left tied to this gunnery seat, so I can't really do anything else. So I guess I'm just like looking around. And, oh, I should have. Wait, help.
That's impressive. Sorry, just to check, Captain Silver, sorry, you did break up a little bit. What was your roll?
2 successes, 1 on stress, and I rolled an 11 panic check. Because I rolled 3 and I have 8 stress right now. So
Yeah, I would have had a 12, but it's gone down to 10 because nerves of steel.
I want
Okay.
nerves of steel.
Yeah.
Can I
Okay, so
have that? No, I'm kidding.
So we've got a 10 for Mason and an 11 for Captain Silver. Okay.
Nerves of steel. That's what Wayland Yutani want. They're wanting to.
Harvest.
It's just so desirable.
Just a small
Dante.
point of order. Sorry.
Sorry, go for it.
I have been forgetting to roll power supply checks for my plasma cutting torch. So
Okay.
I rolled 1 and I got 3 1s.
Oh no. This is
What's
what
that
happens when you're
mean?
Why would you
when
be
you're
honest?
That doesn't sound good.
I'm always
I-
the person that's like, hey, shouldn't we be doing this? And everyone's like, no.
That's fine. Because I think your power supply was what, 5 originally? So it makes
Yes.
sense. It would go down to 2, so do not worry. So yeah, just for
Cool.
the sake of the chat. And also when we roll power supply checks, you roll that many, whatever the number is, and if you get 1s on it, it goes down by that level until you can't use it anymore. Thank you for being very honest, Chaplain. I appreciate it. Because the reason I was sort of flummoxed there for a second is because, well, Dante, you're looking like out. You're strapped to your little seat. You sort of moves about a little bit, and you spot something. You're noticing the buildings around where you've just stopped for a moment. They're sort of cracked and they're leaking quite a bit. And you notice those pipes. You were quite fascinated by the pipes in the oil field. And with that check, you notice that they are cracked in quite a few places, which would be a concern, right? Because, you know, you don't want oil spilling out.
So even here, there are
open
still
battlefield.
pipes. Wait, sorry, did you say the
like
pipes? Like big oil, the oil is going from A to B pipes, or pipes in the buildings?
Buildings, mixture of both, because this whole colony has been derelict for some time, so they've repurposed some
Okay.
things as well. What you notice though is that these pipes, even though they're cracked, they're not leaking. If anything, she says, trying to find the information.
The buildings are leaking, but the pipes aren't leaking.
Then they're sort of cracked, and that you think they would be leaking, right? Because they've
Yeah,
been
where's the oil?
bombed. Right.
Yeah.
So you can see though, where there would be oil, there seems to be like a horrible, like, and I don't want to even say slime, it seems like almost like dust, like really horrible, like sort of like, and you can see as you're looking at the pipes in the building, you can see that it's sort of like crumbles away slightly as you're looking at it. And you think back, God, you heard something like Colonel Myers might have said at one point, or Major Hatfield even would have said at some point, being careful of, well, the oil stuff, because there's a protocol in place, scorch earth protocol, which means that all the oil will have a bacteria in it, which will eat any organic life.
Oh, and was this openly, if we lose this planet, we will screw everyone?
Very
on it?
much so. Very much so. You think that they would not have acted this policy if it wasn't, if they weren't, if they're keeping the planet. So you suspect that with the evacuation stuff, they was gonna leave this place dry so that the UPP wouldn't have it. But along with that,
do the same.
Along with that, you follow the cracks down the building to the street level. And you follow one big crack with your eye that comes neatly underneath your seat and next to where you see Captain Silver and Mason. And suddenly there is a shift underneath them as a huge let me get this right, sinkhole emerges. And Captain Silver and Mason plummet down into it, because obviously the panic checks you failed. You would have got freeze, which would have been Mason. You freeze by terror. You were frozen by fear or stress for 1 round, losing your next slow action. Your stress level of all friendly NPCs go up in short range of you. I think everyone's stress level will go up because this huge sinkhole appears, by the way.
Yeah. Excuse me, what?
So they were just like right between like me and the van, and they were there, and then suddenly.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: you would have probably gone with them if you hadn't been strapped to the car. And the same for Captain Silver. So yours would have been seat cover. You must use your next action. Yeah. Which doesn't sound fun. But yeah, your stress level would have gone down by 1, but I think everyone's going up by 1 because of the sinkhole. Makes sense at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, you fall, both of you. It's cuts and bruises because it's just a sudden like go sort of out, and you sort of slide down. You are 30 feet below the street level. Iona and Chaplain, you hear a massive like crunch, and you look behind and you see Dante just sort of like turns around. Oh,
Insert Jennifer Lawrence. What do you mean? What do you
mean? What do you mean?
what do you mean?
Chaplin will sprint right over to the edge and Roach. Also, Captain.
Frozen in the best
Froze
place.
right there. That's
Mwah.
perfect.
Beautiful.
That's perfect. I imagine that, like, given the frozen for a round, maybe unable to respond verbally to the calling out of name.
It's a sudden shock. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're neither of you are hurt.
Yeah.
Because firstly, you weren't driving over the sinkhole when it happened. Because maybe if there'd been a bad piloting check, maybe you'd have all ended up in the sinkhole. Who knows?
You're welcome.
Are we just like in a hole, or has this opened up to something bigger? We're just narrow space.
It's a hole currently.
Okay.
There's no. I wouldn't be cruel enough to be like, oh, there's a sewer and everything. No, there's nothing like that. You think whatever it is, it's basically it's bad infrastructure on bad infrastructure, and there's just nothing there. So you're currently both in this place. Like, you will need help getting up. It's not sheer where you're not in a shaft, but to get up, it's going to take time, and time is not what you have a lot of.
No. So, like, after enough of a pause to, like, just collect themselves and look over at the captain and just help her up onto her feet, I'm just gonna like, help.
Thumb comes up.
Yeah.
Iona's taking a look at all of this infrastructure and is like, did they not follow any building codes? Like, this, who are their inspectors? This is just horrible work. Are you guys okay?
Do you have any rope or something? We're like,
Kaplan is scouring the vans, the everything around.
Yeah, do the trucks have like
the
something
straps
in them
keeping
that can help?
Dante in? Like,
I
anything
am
we can
gonna.
tie
Yeah.
ropes
Oh yeah.
together with.
I got loads. I was tying
Scraps for days.
I am also just gonna yell, don't touch any dust. Oily dust. Pipe dust. Just be careful.
we fell down a sinkhole. There's nothing but dust.
Yeah, but don't touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Does it seem like there is any rough, like, something to, like, climb up, or are we just gonna have to be hoisted?
So let me make sure I get this absolutely right for you folks.
I'm ready to carry Captain Silva again if I have to.
Don't. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me have a check. See. No, that's Act 3. We don't want to go into Act 3 yet. So you'll need to be it will need to be an agility and mobility roll. And if you fail, you just slide back down again, and you might take some damage because, as Dante has rightly pointed out, there's some bacteria eating stuff happening here.
Awesome.
I'm really good at this, but I'm also really
But
bad at rolling.
But what I'd said before you folks spoke, because I know you did say Chaplin and Iona looking for stuff. I would do a wits observation check. That's a general sort of searchy, and again, all of you can do it, or one of you can do it with help from the other two. It does not matter.
I'm gonna start taking my clothes off so we can tie them together instead of rope.
We
30 feet of
on
clothes.
a very cold planet. Please.
Oh yeah.
not
Oh no, we're
start
outdoors.
stripping.
We're outdoors.
Yeah, you take
no.
you go. You start to go.
It's
"Mm-mm."
frozen.
off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, put my coat
Put your
back on
glove.
again.
You put your glove back on. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They'll just have to die. It's fine.
It's fine.
I have 2 successes on observation, which I'm assuming means I didn't notice what Dante just did, because I would have failed if I had seen.
You managed to find bits of rope and stuff, but it's all higgledy-piggledy. There's not like it's quite difficult. You think they're gonna still have to climb like a little bit of it, unless you're gonna get, I don't know, tie it around something in the car and then pull. This is the thing. It's quite a dangerous thing right now. But what I'd say with that, you'd get those people using the rope to help guide them up. would be a +1 to their base roll of the
Okay.
mobility agility roll.
Okay,
Wonderful.
let's go.
I
13
think
dice.
exactly
let's
what
go.
you said. Tie it off and be there to
Find some
help,
place
like,
to anchor it. Yeah.
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
pull on the rope and like have a hand over as soon as like
Yeah.
Chaplain can.
I'm gonna let the captain go ahead of Roach so that they can be there to catch if needed.
Thanks.
Come on,
welcome.
Captain. I believe in our captain.
You guys
Come
should
on,
have gone to
Captain.
that bouldering class with me.
Oh
Too
my
busy
God.
I said I was busy that day. Sorry.
I was washing my hair.
It's one of those, oh, I'm busy that day. I didn't tell you the day.
Yeah.
I'm just busy.
Oh
what-
no.
What did you get? What did you get?
I got a success, but I'm doing this the sad.
I'm doing
You
the
stressed.
sad.
Yeah, I'm doing
Yeah.
the sad. That's a 12. All of these are low rolls. I just have a lot of stress.
Oh, Captain Silver.
No,
Don't say
You-
that.
don't
Don't
say
say that
that.
face.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
You're trying to climb. You're trying not to touch anything as you're climbing up, and Mason, you're going on behind. You're holding the rope.
I
a
was
little bit
waiting.
behind.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Captain Silver, you put your hand in something that moves. It's not the oil, because you, like, thanks to Dante saying don't touch the dust. It's like a rat or something. It's something it's a skittery thing that runs away. You're not expecting it, so you scream.
Oh, here we go
That's
again.
fun.
Oh
What's up with that?
no.
Wait, let's do the cascade.
Oh no.
So your stress goes down by 1,
Oh, no.
but every friendly
Isolation.
character who can hear you must make an immediate panic check,
Not
because the scream
Oh.
comes out of the void, comes out of the hole, and it's very
Okay.
loud in a very quiet street where you were stealthing.
Panic is what plus stress?
It's your D6 plus your stress.
Down
I
to
got a
8
6.
for me.
Okay, come to you in a second.
6.
6, okay,
Oh,
and
5. I
Ion.
can't do math.
Ion is like, oh.
And it's like,
I'm
I
left-handed
drive.
than
I don't
thought.
do
I'm
math.
so sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So yes. So everyone else. Sorry. Yeah. So tremble is what Mason got. So the scream takes you back just briefly, because you'll suddenly you flash back to probably the mission from before. Again, just like being in a dark place, not necessarily constricted, but it's just like being in a stressful situation. That scream, it makes you start to it makes you start to think about stuff that happened before. So that means you start to tremble uncontrollably. All skill rolls using agility suffer a -2 modification until your panic stops. That's unfortunate, because you'll need that in a
That's
second.
what I'm about to do. Yeah.
You're about to do that. The other folks, they got I think it was a 6 or a 5. You're keeping it together. Just you sort of like look around and you're very aware that this screen could attract enemies, right? So it's pretty, so you're sort of on alert, at least, and you're not distracted by that. And I think the same for Chaplain as well, although yeah, no, you don't need to roll any panic checks. Suddenly you're like, we need to get them out of here. But Captain Silver, you are eventually make it up. You're quite, you're desperately trying to like I hate this planet.
Yeah.
That sort of like, get out of there, so to speak. But we do need to get Mason out as well. So
Yeah. So I
agility
now
and
take
ability
2
would-
dice away from.
you 2 base dice away from that, because you're trembling.
Awesome.
You're like, I need to get out of here. I need to get out.
Yeah.
I need to get out.
A skittery roach, if you will.
Mhm.
May I assist
Does
since
that
I went
plus
up?
1? Yeah, still count.
Yes,
Yeah.
the plus
Okay.
1 will still count.
1 success and a 1 on the panic. So here we go. Oh, well, that's a 1 there. So that's 8 - 2 is 6.
All right, you are. I mean, you're still trembling. You're like,
I'm still trembling.
You're just
Yeah.
like, you just think back to like how tough the last 24 hours have been since you set foot moonside, and it's just you're tired. You're absolutely, and so you just use that sort of energy going, I want to get home. hot bath, tea, music, anywhere but here, and you just
Yeah.
eventually get out. Both of you are successful. You don't touch any of the dust, and you're out.
I'm
of the
gonna
sinkhole.
immediately, just instinctively from like old habits, go to just like hug Chaplin and just like take a second. Because you go through everything that Roach went through, and then you think, the job's tough, but at least I don't have to do that again.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then here they are. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. Yeah.
What the truck?
We're taking the small truck.
Yeah, I think we need to get out of here. That would have attracted attention, and I don't want to stick around.
I'm gonna go cut Dante out of the straps.
Oh, is Dante
Still in my chair.
It's like, hey.
I like the chair, but yeah. Probably maybe
Yeah, you
inside.
get to the new place. You get into the new car, and Zimajewski's already there, already in the middle seat. It's like, well, you didn't. I just thought I'd just claim my spot. And then
Are
it's like tapping on the seats, going, "Room for a small one." No, okay.
Iona just happily sits in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with it.
I take shotgun. I'm the smallest in the group. I'm not sitting next to it.
I'm gonna sit down to Zimajewski and I will man spread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
An action
take
after Hammer's heart.
Yeah. I'm honoring my fallen comrade and I am man spreading on behalf of Hammer. I'm not taking this.
Are we taking both for now?
Well, that's the question I was going to ask. Is that so? Somebody else can drive the other truck, perhaps, if you want. It's going to be.
I mean, the
hard
guns are
squeeze.
useful on the other one.
Yeah. I'm a
I would say
fairly
there's
good
no-
driver.
There's no weaponry, additional weaponry on this, and unfortunately, you can't uncouple like
Okay.
the Gatling gun or the turret from one
Yeah.
and place it in the other.
I
If
think
we're
I'm
gonna
on the
keep-
one with Chaplin because as gunnery sergeant, I imagine handling big guns are okay with me.
Yeah, if we're keeping the APC, Iona's like job is to pilot the APC, so I think she would stay there. So
Oh, well then I
Would
can
we
drive
split?
the new car.
okay.
Okay. All right.
So just
Do you want to
We
maybe
could split half and half because Zimajewski is in the
Yeah.
is in
I
the new
I
truck,
have my
so
spot
Chaplin
now.
could stay.
So
Alright.
if we've got Chaplin and Zimajewski in the new car, and we've got Iona in the other car, what about everyone else? Where's the split?
I'll stick to ACP. I'll be up to man guns because I have the use of both my legs, and I imagine there's more room in the ACP for someone who's got a broken leg to like spread.
I just don't want to have to walk to the
Wow.
other truck because it's quite
Yeah,
far.
you're
and
like,
my
yeah,
legs don't work.
you're like, I guess
So
I'll
I'll
stay
just-
here.
I just kind of look at Captain Silver and just be like, "You can have one."
Go where you have room, please.
Yeah.
Gonna stay here.
Yeah, stay there.
Can we? I'm assuming we can position you next to a window so that you can have the other big gun. So we're both kind of.
Yeah, it's
Ready
a
to
lot
go.
easier to. It's a lot easier to make it accommodating for Dante in
Yeah.
this because it's meant for people to jump in and jump out.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously the other one was more of a civilian truck.
I'll get you positioned so that you've got a window for sniping out of.
Yeah, crack the window. So
Yeah.
and just so I check, where's Captain Silver going?
Oh gosh, wherever there's room, because we're splitting in half.
That'd be new vehicle, I think.
New vehicle. Okay.
You Chaplin and Simichowski.
Yeah, I'll go there.
All right, okay.
Let's go.
So you fire up the new car and the APC, and you continue your way, presumably towards Fort Nebraska. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Wow, new set of wheels for Chaplin. That's what this this episode should have been. But thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for Freely for sponsoring the stream. We're going to be away for about 5-10 minutes or so. So make sure you get some water, stay hydrated, take any tablets you need to, and we'll see you back in 5 or 10. We're going to wave until then. Hello, 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 and welcome back to Girls on These Worlds Alien Destroyer of Worlds. I don't know, credits roll. Our wonderful Marines, they have acquired a new vehicle. which is super, super fun. And they are now trying to get back desperately to Fort Nebraska, because that was their last mission, was to return ASAP. But unfortunately, the UPP, Union of Progressive Peoples, have arrived on Ariarchus, and spells bad news for our United America's Marines. So, just so I have it clear, hands up those folks who are in the new vehicle, just so everyone who's watching the stream can see it. So we have Chaplin and Silver and Zimajewski are going to be in the new vehicle, and in our old favorite APC, we've got we've got Iona, we've got Mason, and we've got Dante. As you are,
Which vehicle is Hammer in?
The vehicle in the sky.
Yeah.
Oh, the
They're
dropship,
blasting
okay.
in the sky.
The big vehicle in the sky, upstate.
Ooh, oh, we miss you, Hammer. But as you're both trying to get there, I would need those who are driving, so that's Iona and Chaplin, to make for me agility piloting checks. Both of you can add a +1 to your base pool, because that is what you get for maneuverability in your two cars.
Three success.
Okay.
I have 1 success and a 1 on the panic.
Let's roll that panic.
5.
I mean, Iona is just like, fuck. You're just desperately trying to, because weirdly,
Just
Chaplin
constant
is,
anxiety, constant panic.
and you know what's even worse is, not even worse, but Chaplin is such a smooth driver, is able to get it out quickly, does a 3-point turn in 2 points. You don't know how. Yeah, it's the dream. But as a result, you're trying to catch up.
Meanwhile, my
to,
hula girl's
when
just
Chaplin- Yeah, is desperate. Yeah, she's lost her skirt at this point. It's just
Oh,
muddy.
no.
Like-
You're doing great, Iona. We believe in you.
The police have arrived to take you away, but oh, you don't know if you can hear that. There's a police outside where I am. Okay, that's just me just
Like,
chatting
what?
randomly to stream. But those people are in the APC. So with Iona, you don't lose the other team ahead of you, but
I mean, we don't want to be too close to them because it would really
Right.
ruin our whole undercover thing for them,
right,
right?
exactly. So
Like,
yeah. So
they're not with us.
you're
It's
keeping in
fine.
contact with radio, but you're just trying to make sure that, if there's
Yeah.
anything that comes up, Chaplin radios back to Iona, etc. So it does take a little bit of a while, and then at one point, maybe Iona, you make a wrong turn. Yeah, it happens, but it's okay because you've figured out where you're going to be, etc. And suddenly you hear explosions. The people in the APC hear explosions and gunfire, and then a loud bang from one of the side streets of an echoing rifle. What do the people in the APC do?
Oh,
Like, it's quite close to you, but you can hear all this
Uh,
gunfire happening in the streets. It's very close.
if I'm manning the Gatling gun, can I swivel to look at this to see what is
Yeah.
afoot?
Sure. Wits observation check. Sure.
Yeah.
What about Iona and Dante?
Iona's continuing to drive for right now and wants very badly to look at where this is coming from, but is going to look where she's going.
Okay.
Just kind of shout like, "What's happening?"
Okay, you can do a wits observation as well.
Hey,
Dante.
almost done.
Dante,
much
are you
stress.
doing anything, Dante?
No.
No.
One
No,
success.
not.
2
One
successes, no
Two
panic.
six. No panic. Cool. You're looking around, Mason. You don't see where the firefight is happening. You're driving much too quickly past it. But interestingly, I guess because the Gatling gun's slightly out of the car a little bit, so you're a little bit
Mhm.
above. Inside the car, Iona, you're sort of like quickly looking around, and you look into the rear mirror where you probably see Dante sort of up against the window, and you can see that on Dante's shirt there's a little bit of blood that was not there before.
Dante, are you okay? You're bleeding.
I've got a broken leg.
No, like you're bleeding. Like your shirt. There's
My shirt's bleeding. I'm gonna
Can I
feel-
lower myself down from the?
I'm gonna
Yeah. You hear this question. Yeah,
I'm gonna
Dante, you
feel
want to do?
myself up.
Yeah, you feel. You didn't feel like an impact. You didn't think, oh god, is that a sniper? Fuck! And you sort of undo like maybe the top bit, but your armor
I'm
hasn't
not-
been impacted.
I'm not super worried, but can I I poke myself all over? Glad Chaplain's not here.
Medical aid? No. Easily enough, you can poke yourself. You don't feel anything. Like they don't feel. You're not high on adrenaline, and then you slowly go up to your nose, and you've got a bit of a nosebleed happening just suddenly, like not gushing or anything like that. But it's just happened.
Oh, it's fine. It's just my head exploding, apparently.
What?
Don't joke about that.
Sorry. Sorry. This doesn't usually happen. I'm a professional.
Okay.
Are you supposed to put your head forward or back? I can't remember.
Between you need, I'm gonna go and like try to assist and just put
No,
something.
this is not the priority. Shoot the roach. No, go. This is not important.
Just Dante, with all kindness in my heart, shut up. And I'm gonna start tending to you.
Dante will behave themselves.
It doesn't take long for the bleeding to stop, but it was quite sudden. Like Iona, the way you looked up, like you're always looking in the mirror because mirror signal maneuver, even in these trying times. It was almost
Safety
like
first.
like proper splat. And you not known Dante for that long, but I mean, doesn't seem the sort of person to get nosebleeds. But then you don't know. You've been in the car this whole time, so you've fucking no idea.
Maybe this
so.
is
I
a
keep
normal
claiming how this never usually happens.
That's true.
I'm
Dante does keep yelling. I'm normally professional. I'm so sorry.
I'm cool,
Don't
guys.
worry about it.
I'm cool.
Can I radio Chaplain? I know that Chaplain is driving, so I'm not going to do it in a stressed voice, but just hey, Chaplain.
What are you doing, Roach?
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I
Roach,
just
what you
arm over
doing?
your shoulders.
Roach.
Everything good?
Yeah. Just Dandy here. Just you got a nosebleed. Not sure why. I don't know. I know that feels like a really simple
Do you
thing
have
to
to
report
tell
into you,
everyone? This is so
I'm not telling everyone. I am telling
Out
Chaplain, don't worry
loud.
about it. It's just us in the car. Don't worry.
Do you want me to pull over and come
No,
check it out?
no, don't pull over because I got a nosebleed.
Yeah, I just wanted you aware because we might. I don't know. Can we still see the other car?
You've been radioing distance and stuff, so like you're within range. You can't maybe see it just now because obviously, as I was saying before, you wanted to be. I think Dante was saying like you want to be, not obviously together.
Yeah.
Did something happen?
No, just seemed to happen out of nowhere. Just keeping up good comms.
I mean, there was the gunshot, but I don't think that would.
I'm
Gun
not
shot?
shot.
No.
I didn't get shot.
It's not a. It was a
we
sound of a gunshot.
An
I'm outside
explosion
from somewhere else. I double check that I haven't been secretly shot.
Yeah. I mean,
Like
the
the
window was
back
open
and
a crack. Yeah, the window was open a crack. You are in a lot of pain, so it would make sense that you would not possibly not feel an impact. But you,
That's true. I pretend I'm not in a lot of pain. And
You-
be like,
you
I
do the
feel
thing-
great.
yeah, you sort of maybe like check the headrest just in case it was like here and like
Straight through.
yeah, no,
I
nothing.
swear it's fine. God.
Yeah.
And can I make some sort of check to see if like Chaplain would know what could have caused a sudden nosebleed in this
High
situation?
blood pressure.
Stress typically.
Chaplain, I would say you can absolutely do a check. Let me just check one thing. It's quite a difficult check because you're not in the same vehicle.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you're getting this. So I would say this is I'm gonna say it's a formidable check. So that's gonna be -3 to your medical aid pool, which I think is it wits medical aid? Is that what it is? Or is it empathy? Empathy medical aid. So it'll be -3 to your pool because you're just getting bits of information.
Just sitting thinking it is from like yards away. I don't know. We should probably keep an eye on that. I have no idea what to make of
No.
that.
I mean, you're just like, okay, nosebleed.
Well, yeah.
It's just good comms.
Cool.
Yeah.
But you don't feel anything else. I was going to say Shamini, that's not your name. Dante, you don't feel anything else. Like it's just you just like, if anything, you just feel annoyed that your body is giving up the ghost on, like, you're just like, fuck it.
Fucking Marine. I'm fresh and fucking Marine.
Yeah.
Most
fine.
unprofessional of things, a nosebleed.
A nosebleed. How dare you?
Dare you.
How
Betray me
very
again.
dare you.
Scott.
Yeah, you. If anything, Iona, after a few seconds, you look back up and there's just a wad of tissues up Dante's nose. Like
Okay,
cross
good, been
arms, just
handled.
like done.
Get your stuff together, nose.
Take a day off, sinuses.
Yeah.
Going back to the other car, Captain Silver, if you're still there, I appreciate you've frozen a little bit. But if not, just for the whole car in general. Probably I'd get actually yeah, you're still here. So if you can, Captain Silver, I want you, because you're playing around with the radio again, probably trying to get another link to Port Nebraska or something like that. Can you make for me a wits com check tech? And I obviously, Chaplain, I know you're very good at this as well, so you can give a +1 to that help as well. Let us know what you get.
I've got
If
all the stress.
if anything, you can hear Zimajewski in the background. Nosebleed.
Fucking damn it.
Oh.
Fucking devastating.
Not happy.
No, yeah, exactly. He's just chuckling to himself.
Ooh, okay. Well, 2 successes, but as usual, rolled a 1 on stress, and
That's
then
good.
I rolled the highest I could. So that's a 14
Oof.
stress.
Oh.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm not sad. That's
Okay.
Hey, you got a nosebleed.
Captain Silver,
Yeah.
you are just thinking about everything. You're thinking about that whale in Utali call. You're thinking that although great, yay, success, but Marilee Eckford, she sounded super serious. Like you felt like you dealt with it, but I don't think you've dealt with it. And you think back over everything that your team has gone through, everything about those 4 Marines that you tried to save, and you didn't. Going towards Fort Nebraska, you suddenly just probably just maybe hit like the board in front of you. The sort of like, and you, what I would say, you don't go. The thing you get is berserk, but I don't think that makes sense, and I don't think this would happen particularly. But bad consequences will happen at the next point. I think I'm going to say that I'm going to hold that. I don't think it's narratively appropriate just now. But as you do so, you hit upon, as you want to do, Captain Silver. You're very good at finding secret channels, and you realize that you could work out where the UPP are because you had that encrypted signal from before. So you take a moment, maybe get Chaplain to help you with some of the wires in this car, and see if there's anything that you can get for you wailing Utani. Maybe they'll have something themselves, or maybe if they've been tracking you, it makes sense they might be tracking some UPP stuff, right? And you hear, says trying to find it, some comms sort of crackling into life. They sound quite distant. But it says, too late. The cargo is gone. No survivors. And then that repeats a couple of messages. And then update. There are tracks. Commander. We will follow. They must not be far. So you suspect that even though with those excellent the piling tracks, UPP went to the insurgents' compound and found it empty, but found tracks leaving. So you may have a UPP contingency on your trail.
Okay, I'll relay that message over comms, just over our open channel so everyone can get it.
We can keep our eye out.
Shit. Okay.
Or we can go in a few circles just to confuse them.
Right.
Is there any way that we can just like hide our tracks somehow, like to just in a way that we could move that would make it more confusing?
There's definitely 2 your cars now that you've got. So splitting up is definitely a possibility. But
What if we? Sorry.
no, go for it, Emily.
What if we pull one of the cars aside and cover those tracks so that they keep following the other set of tracks past an ambush point,
Mhm.
and then we pincer them as
Yeah,
they go
kind of
past
like
the
what we
hidden
did before and
vehicle.
come around behind.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Let's
There
do
might
it.
Um,
just be more resources than what Wayland Yutani sent after us.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
that's
could be shit
the
tons of
problem
them.
is they'll be able to radio in to other UPP that we are doing this as it is happening.
I feel. Look, I know our orders were to get to the place that's currently being flattened, but like UPP are winning and the bosses think they're winning. They've given up. They've given up this planet. I don't think we're getting off this planet. I just want to do the most damage to them as possible. Like, just one Marine on this freaking planet has got to be better than the whole UPP forces. And we gotta show them that and blow up showing them that.
Let's blast them all to hell.
we are somewhat connected to their radio transmissions. I could try to put out a jamming signal while we run the ambush so that they can't signal that there's trouble.
That sounds wonderful.
That's a great idea.
All right. I would say, Chaplain, to do something like that, great idea. I love it. You
In a
wouldn't
movie
be
truck.
able to drive at the same time.
Right.
Like, it's because I think this is quite a delicate thing to do.
Right.
And just because it's more, so, it's like you shouldn't use your phone and drive. It's that sort
Right.
of.
Right.
Right.
So yeah.
Almost
could be
makes me
the
think
vehicle
that
that-
we should be the pulled
The
over
swivels and
vehicle.
stops. Yeah. And we'll pull ahead with because they're following our tracks. Our tracks are bigger than
Mhm.
yours.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it would be easier to overlook a parked, like, nondescript truck
Yeah.
versus parked
Yeah.
Colonial Marines APC just
Yeah.
sitting
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Fair.
Sounds good.
So we'll
Alright.
drive ahead. We'll swivel back. Point all that we've got at them.
Okay.
Ambush.
All right. So, yes, the Vasilian civilian truck pulls over, and you sort of go on ahead. My question to you, APC team, how far do you go ahead? Because currently you've just heard that people are following you. You've not, compared to before,
We don't
you haven't
see them. We don't
seen
see how
anyone.
many.
Exactly. So I've no problem with you going
Can we-
ahead, but like, do you go to a certain
can
point
we-
and then stop?
Can we
Yeah.
go ahead and
Mhm.
then loop round on ourselves?
Yeah,
and wait?
loop round.
The
Yeah.
tracks go on, and we've just come back and
Yeah.
are waiting there.
Mhm.
So we're
So go like
there,
a
and
like
the
a,
other guys are
a street or
I
two
see.
up, and then
not far from
Because
those.
they'll be
turn
following
and
the
come back.
tracks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right. So
because they
what I
don't know
would-
that we know that they're following us.
they don't know that we know that they know that
that we know that they
yes.
know that there's going to be a
Ah.
Gatling gun pointed at them. So
Exactly.
Ah.
So what I'd get to do, the person that is driving the APC, which I believe is Iona, I need you to do another piloting check. This is just your normal one. There's no more +1 because you've already used it. And then in the other civilian truck, I would like Chaplain to do their jamming stuff. So that will be a Witscom tech, please.
come on, Marines.
2 success.
Can I push
Impressive.
my roll?
Ooh. You ask Iona, you ask
Game
me.
mother.
Please,
You ask
game
me-
mother.
Usually I'm the one that suggests it. Of course you may push your roll, as long as you don't have a 1 on your stress.
I don't.
Well, I know, but I have to say it because I forget myself.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna
So increase, so increase your stress by 1 and include the new stress.
That's 1 success. No ones on the stress side,
Right, it helps.
which is great.
Yeah. And it
It's
works.
exactly what I got last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Chaplain, within a few minutes, you've managed to jam their signal to be enough that it's repeating a previous loop or something, and it degrades the signal quite badly. So you think you've managed to stop that.
Well, can I have it like set up so that I can just like press a button and start the jamming when they get here? Because I don't want to like
Oh,
I don't
I
want them to
see.
suspect
Apologies.
that something is up before they get into the ambush. I want to have it like ready to just
Sure,
like
sure.
boop, execute.
Right. So you have the program. You've made the program to sort of execute it. You're just going to wait to send it out. Great. I got you. Yeah, yeah. Easily enough, you've got it ready, and you're just going to basically hold your finger on the sort of the trigger, so to speak, and then boop it as soon as you see any sort of form of UPP. Sorry, I was like, what am I talking about? Yeah, any sort of form of catching up from there. Back to Iona. You again very maneuvered at this point. Sort of go around. Bit tighter this time. There's a lot more debris, a lot more shells of buildings. There's been a lot of fire damage here, and you sort of park up in a sort of alley. So you go all the way around, park up in an alley, and you go all dark essentially. You're all sort of lights out for the moment, and 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by, 15 minutes go by, 20 minutes go by. The overhead, the various is much less now, even though you're getting slowly closer and closer to Fort Nebraska. You see those the evac fighters going across.
How long have we been driving?
About 45 minutes, give or take.
Oh,
You
okay.
were, I mean, driving wise, 45
okay.
minutes, but you've been on the road a little bit longer because obviously you were out, people were in sinkholes.
Yeah.
You were setting up that
Okay,
car,
okay.
etc. Yeah.
So it was a lot. We are a long way from where they would have been coming from.
Yeah,
okay,
I would say so. Yeah. One thing you would notice, those people, because there's more shells building, you would definitely see fire coming from the oil fields at this point, where you were previously there. They sort of whatever was left of any oil has been set alight, you think, by the UPP. On top of that, you can hear the distant bombing of various parts of the colony. The one thing I would say, all of you would see this, is that despite the initial attack on Fort Nebraska, the space elevator remains intact. There doesn't seem to be any damage to it at all. It's just the ground base itself seems to have taken a lot of the brunt of the damage. You can definitely see fire and smoke rising from the outer defenses on that front as well.
Would any of us know how the space elevator works?
You would know roughly how it works. It's a very standard sort of like transporter. It transports goods and people and whatnot up to the main sort of space station for
Like a
when
space
it would
station. Okay.
Yeah, and it would get hooked up. Basically, what it was, if you allow me so much to be like, here's a bit of lore. So it used to be that people would come down and refuel on the planet side, and that was like a bit dangerous because obviously if you pilot it wrong, you might go crashing into the moon. So what they did, they built the space elevator to a fueling station so that you could come in and fuel right then and there and leave without leaving orbit, so to speak. And as a result, you could then move, like I said, there's people, the fuel, etc., up and down these huge sort of elevators, and one of which you came down on at the beginning where you saw the colony underneath you.
And it would be under... I mean, I'm aware that we're not really sure we're changing hands, but traditionally that would be like our side were in control of that space station.
All of Ariarchus was a UA colony, and it feels like UPP is trying to take it back, take it, because there's been sort of a Cold War going on between them.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to take it for oil resources, but as Dante has found out, and sort of remember the scorched earth policy, they're just basically destroying this place before UPP can get its hands on it, and you're caught in the middle. But
I mean, if we need off the planet, that might be an option.
We can't see the space station from the surface, can we?
You can't see the space station, but you can see the space elevator. The space station is way up in the sky.
I'm just thinking of the chances of the UPP being winning on the planet and not having already taken the station. But yeah, like you said, we don't know.
If they scorch Earth,
Okay.
though, that's like, yeah. Okay. I'm on my go.
Half an hour goes by.
At some point while we're sitting there waiting, I'd like to turn to the captain and do you mind there's something weighing on me that I'd like to discuss with you, Captain, if that's all right.
Absolutely. Go right ahead. We have nothing better to do.
I
Wah, wah.
I cannot I can't shake a feeling. A lot of my memories of the last few days are hard to parse. I sort of remember everything that happened and my actions, although so many things I did I would not normally do. And trying to I have a bit of some of the reasoning behind why I did, but not any sort of memory to it's very hard to make sense of. But the thing that is relevant that I can't shake is as we get closer to Fort Nebraska, there are many times during the past day that I can't remember, but especially with the thing destroyed, I have a terrible, terrible, terrible feeling that something dangerous is there. Something about beneath the fort. I can't remember, but I just, as we approach, we need to be so careful if we're gonna still go there. It just, I wish that I could tell you more. I feel like before I was about to, I had so much information that I was so ready to share, and it's all gone, and we just have to be careful.
Okay. We will. We are going to have to go there because at the very least, that is our only way off this planet. We'll avoid the below part of it if we can.
I don't know what's going on with this Weyland-Yutani nonsense, but I don't trust it. Whatever
No.
it is.
Good instinct.
Okay.
Suddenly, all of your communicators go. A brief bit of static in a quiet moment where maybe some of you jump, but you hear, hello? Hello, is this Pilot Fiona? Hello? Are you there, Charlie team? Are you there, Charlie team?
Fiona, what's
Hey.
your location? Where are
Not
you?
expecting that.
Hello. I've been called. I tried to get back to the compound to see if I can find you guys, but there's no one there. Where are you? I can try and pick you up. I can get you to base quickly.
All of us are just
I like a few of us are just like,
I don't like it.
Yeah, can there be
Fiona's
some
being nice,
sort
and also
of
Fiona's being nice. Like, this can't be right.
some sort of check on insight to gain?
Me? Am I the villain? Yeah.
Both
If anyone would
Fionas
like,
appear helpful.
if any, I mean, Fiona in game has been very helpful. I don't know what you told this
It's
up,
true.
but
It's true. It's
if you would
that's
like to, if you,
boring.
I know if it's me. If you would like to, anyone who wants to can do an empathy manipulation check. It will be at it'll be a hard check, so it'll be -2 to your base pool.
I feel like just in game, I
Yeah.
definitely am like Dante's not smart enough to roll that, and I would also just say like I feel like we're all feeling this out of game due to our
Yeah.
meta knowledge of these stories. So like, let's not go
Yeah.
lean too far into the something must be wrong because something
Yeah.
good has happened.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's
I
fair. You
think
just like
Iona's response would be like, well, if you were at the compound, you must have seen the UPP, right?
I saw some people running away, but then I got followed by various ships and stuff. So I've been trying to lose my tail on them. I can't fight them off on my own. I need other people to man the guns and stuff. All I can do is just pilot around, and I managed to lose them into the clouds, but there's so many of them.
Arkham Man guns.
I like that our two
Don't need
gunners
legs
are
for
just
that.
like guns.
Yeah,
huh?
guns. Did you mention guns? I could do Arkham Man. Arkham Man guns with my arms, not with my legs.
I'll go onto a separate channel with Captain Silva if I can.
Sure, yeah, I'll let you do
To
that.
contact directly to her. Be like, do we give away our position? This is being broadcast. Anybody could listen to it, right?
Can they also track our... We assume that they can't track our literal comms, and the fact that we're talking to each other, they can't track that, right?
Well,
Or is there even being a communication link a problem?
Well, you know that. Well, maybe Dante doesn't know, but we know that. I know. I don't.
Why am I asking?
New
Seems
meme.
fun.
Seems fine. I mean, Wayland Yutani managed to track you, so
Yeah.
it's not beyond
Impossible.
belief. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
could
was-
always have her, Fiona, see if she can find the UPP, and she could track them as they approach us.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Great call.
So smart.
Rather than give
Yeah.
away our position.
Yeah.
We're still waiting, hiding in our
She can
trap.
let us know where they are just while we're waiting, and then and then if it's dealt with, then we get on the big thing and
Okay.
we have fancy guns. Sure.
Yay.
That's definitely what will happen.
Yeah.
My only other idea was to like have her hang back until we deal with the people that are tailing us, but I like that better.
Okay. So I guess Captain Silver is like, you do this for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't catch anything that
please.
just happened.
Oh
So
no.
Oh. Yeah.
The quick summary for you, Captain Silver, is that an idea is to send the dropship to tail and maybe take out the UPP that is trailing you.
it's a good
What do you
idea.
think? All right, so is that an agreement? Are you going to let the NPC snatch the victory from you?
Well, no, not
Well,
take
not
out.
shooting.
She's
She's
just to try.
eyes on them. Yeah, because we're waiting for them, but we don't know if maybe that something has happened to them. Because we're
I
rather than
see.
sitting here like with our fingers up our butts for
Yeah.
3 hours.
She can go high enough that she could see lorries on the road coming towards us
Yeah,
without being
yeah,
seen,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
go,
Absolutely.
there's some lorries that are going towards this building on this road, and we can be
And
like,
there's
"Haha,
things
we're
flying
there."
around, so her being up there isn't going to necessarily be out of the
Mhm.
ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. One thing I will say, so this is my fault, because obviously you've been sat for a good long time. Your stress
Mhm.
levels would have gone down by 1,
Oh,
because you're
isn't that
in it.
lovely?
Yeah, isn't it? And for those people
Oh.
who still have signature items, obviously it's a new act, so you can use those to get another thing down. If you still got your signature items, I appreciate someone might have taken it from you. To be mean.
Yeah,
But that's fine.
I
Well,
lost mine.
But the one thing I should actually remind Iona, because Iona has a talent called banter, that means that you can take another level of stress if you're with Iona. But, and again, I'm not
I
going to put you on
feel
the
like we would be so tense that like
Yeah.
it would be quiet.
Yeah,
Like, I would love to lower everybody else's stress by an extra thing, but I don't think
It's
Iona
not
would be
time.
talking.
For the banter.
Thematically, we're not relaxed at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what? Actually, I think no. I think no. I'm going to give you the in-game benefit of you can take the stress off. But because what I was going to say is I wasn't going to put you on the spot, Jill, to do a type 5. But I think because you're so stressed, you don't say anything. So
Yeah.
therefore, everyone
That's
is
what lowers
relaxed.
it. We're like, ooh, quiet. We love a
Me.
bit.
Don't.
Let's
Like, oh my god,
quiet.
Iona is
Let's
not making
go.
dumb jokes right now.
Yeah.
So those people are in the APC with Iona. It's instead of losing 1 stress, you lose 2.
Yeah.
I
God,
feel
I
like
haven't
it's
been down to
also-
5 in a while.
I feel like it's also thematically appropriate right now for Iona to be looking at her signature item, which is a postcard of Oahu, and like she turns over the card around it, like paperclip to it is like a picture of her on the beach with a flower in her hair, all smiling and just kind of looking outside at like the frozen wasteland of a planet we're
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, the building next to you on fire. Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it's to add a little flavor to why, for example, why my stress might go down is if I see that it's not that is de-stressing me, her picture in her hands, but given that a big focus for me at the moment is just keeping everyone alive, and seeing someone just taking a moment with something personal and it's clearly helping them, that just makes me feel a little better.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So to flash back to the current moment, Fiona is like, oh yeah, sure, I can fly up and take check for those people, and you relay the details of what you've heard, and she obviously goes up maybe a couple of minutes. She radios in, I can't, it's weird, I can see tracks and I can see stuff, but I can't see anyone on the roads per se, and I can't. Wait, what's that? What the fuck is that? And then above you, an explosion. And as you look up, coming down towards the street where you folks are, within the distance, is Cheyenne dropship. I need those people who are driving to make for me a hard agility piloting check to get the fuck out of the way of this dropship falling on your cars.
So that's -2.
-2 to your base dice pool.
Well, she found us.
Maybe they're stuck down a hole. That's the one silver lining.
That is 1 success for me, and no one's on the stress dice.
Iona.
I would like to push the roll, but
you
I cannot.
can't.
So it's just a failure.
Okay. Iona, you gun it. You're like, fuck, you need to get out of it. The tires screech, and you sort of press away. Those people who have their seatbelts on, like go like, yeah, Dante's like,
I'm holding onto a gun at the moment.
Just,
So I'm just
Mason, you don't look back because it's really cool not to look back, but also you don't want to look back. It's just this huge drop starts to go down. Chaplain, you are desperately trying to do this car, but you've sat in the car for so long, it's very hard to warm up. It's not built to be out in the cold for so long. Even though you and Captain Silver are prevented from it, it's freezing up. You can't get it started. You have 2 choices. Either you can try and get this car to go, or you can leg it. Both of you.
My instinct is to hotwire. And
okay,
I'm gonna plug it into myself if I've got to.
All right, that's again, it's a hard wits com check. Zimajewski is going, nope, fuck this, fuck it, gets out. Fucking legs it. Captain Silver.
It's hard.
It's hard contact for you. Captain Silver, what are you doing?
I'm not leaving Chaplain, so
okay. I'd say you are helping Chaplain with this, so it's a +1 base die, so only a minus your pool.
Come on, bestie.
Come on, Chaplain.
That's 2 successes.
Oh boy.
And this car goes. You go past Zimajewski. You don't have time. You floor it. Captain Silver, you look behind you as you see this dropship careen into the street. The buildings break, the snow flies, explosions are happening, the dust settles.
No, not the dust.
Oh, the dust.
The dust ain't good.
And Zimajewski disappears underneath the wall of fire and snow. You just get out. And then, as you're both driving as far as you can feel the heat. Both the cars can feel the heat of this dropship. Like, you look up to see what on earth could have just taken it out of the sky. And then you see it.
There's a flying xenomorph, I swear.
Oh god, they got wings.
They got wings now. Just you.
A
Just falling with
succession.
style, it's fine.
Yes. Splat. A succession of airbursts explode overhead, turning the skies pitch black as something begins to fall like rain. In front of you, you come up on the top of a hill. You can see panicking colonists, people who are hiding, desperately running around. You can see UPP soldiers that were lying in wait for you, booking it. You can see other Marines booking it. If the camera sort of pans up to all these different places that you've been, the medical center, the marshal's station, all of it has exploded or something like that, but people are running for their lives as black rain begins to fall.
No.
Nope.
But it's too late. A churning black tar starts to appear and erupt from their retching throats and eyes. One man, a preacher near the eye of oblivion, starts to convulse and shriek and tear at his own face. A woman next to him, staring at the clouds as rain, this horrible black rain, starts to patter herself as she screams. The dying are climbing over each other, twisting in agony. Bodies bubble and ossify into grotesque black caricatures of life. Forsaken souls forever crying out for their absent gods. Those further from the airburst fall to their knees. Black veins spider-webbed across splintering flesh as they crumble to dust. Others writhe in blackened snow, their skulls pulsing and limbs stretching. War hasn't just come to Ariarchus. Hell has come to Ariarchus. And I think, with me also in hell at this bloody Travelodge, we'll leave it there for this evening, as something has changed, terraformed the rest of Ariarchus to reclaim, possibly, what is rightfully theirs.
Life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
Finds a way.
Life finds a way.
Finds a way.
Thank you so much, my wonderful Charlie team. Sorry, I had to kill the two most useless NPCs, Zimijuski and me. Thank you so much.
No backups now if we die.
No backups. No, there's plenty of backups, don't you worry. But thank you so much for watching this amazing stream. This is obviously done. Thank you so much to Freely for sponsoring the stream. We're going to go back around to allow people to have time to plug their stuff. Excuse me. Ooh, burpee. Thank you so much to the stream. I'm going to go back around. I'm going to start off with our wonderful captain, Abigail. Let's go.
Hello, so sorry for all the freezing. I'm Abigail the Nerd with 2 B's in the name, and just check out everything on my link tree, because there's lots of stuff going on right now. So just check it out.
Thank you very much. Next up is Sharmony.
Hey, my name is Sharmony. I'm at sbundell on Twitter. I do sciencey, nerdy TTRPG things with RP Geeks D&D. And I'd like to plug Realms Pod's got a live show in London if you're a Londoner this Sunday at the London Podcast Festival at King's Cross. So check that out.
Yes, go check that out. Our wonderful friends at Realms. Next up is Jill Iona. Hey.
Hi, I am Jill, also known as Ghosty JK on the internet. And if you like actual plays and specifically audio dramas, and you might want to keep an eye on Welcome to Reddington, you might see or hear a familiar voice coming up relatively soon.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Next up is Humaloo.
It's me, Emma Humbley on the internet. I currently this is all I'm playing in now, so you will see me here next week. But I'm in the market for more.
hire me. I can die easily.
Yeah.
I can also survive, depending on what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And last but by no means least, Emily.
That's me. You'll find me at EmilyBard20 on Twitter or Instagram, or on Linktree. This is my only TTRPG gig as well at the moment, so send me your casting calls, or let me audition for your voiceover projects. I can do things I have settings other than Android, so if you want to know more, hit me up.
Get into my good books, absolutely. And yeah, to finish off, sorry, I lost my script. Oh no, it's gone forever. I'm just a commoner. My name is Fiona. It's a joke that we did with my D&D group, was that if my iPad dies, then all the big boss stats go to Commodore stats. Like it's like rolling your D20 off the table. It's a 1. So there you go. So anyway, my name is Fiona. I run What Am I Rolling, which is a twice monthly RPG one-shot podcast. I also do the DM's book club, which is all about D&D lore. But forget all that. You don't need to know about that. You can find them wherever you listen to podcasts. But if you want to, if you want some RPG recommendations, because I'm all about RPG recommendations, I'm going to suggest it's a classic. It's a classic. But if you like horror, if you like eldritch horror, I do recommend checking out Call of Cthulhu. The quick start is dead straightforward. I appreciate some of the content, and also Hickby Roadcraft is problematic. I totally understand that. But the system underneath it is really good. If you like Rivers of London, the Rivers of London uses the same system, and I think that's a really good setting, and certainly you can make it into your own sort of thing. So anything with folklore, etc. I just think that's a really good based like mechanic of D100 roll equal to or under, depending on what your stat is. I just think it's really delicious, and you can really have that flavoursome stuff there as well, just like as you have with the Avian game as well. The other things I want to say is please pitch to us if you're like, wow, Fiona's really cruel to her players, like giving them a little carrot and then the stick appears. I also want to do that. Well, we have our creator application app open. So if you have a fun game where you want to be nice to your friends and players and be like, we want to do nice things, please pitch us those stories. We will treat any story as it is. Like we don't judge on popularity or how good the system is or streamer count or anything like that. We want to tell stories that you don't normally see on that. So please don't think of any lack of experience of streaming or performing or running RPGs is a barrier. It is not. We will look at every single application here, so please go check that out. If you want to find that, it's on all the social media places, and it's on Girls Run These Worlds websites. We've got a whole lot of RPG goodness coming up. I'm just going to go to the things. I was not ready. For some reason, I was like, oh, maybe I had this up. I did not have this up, so apologies. Let me find that. But you can also support us on the Ko-Fis. Make sure you subscribe to us on the Twitch and check out all the VODs as well. We've got all the VODs go up onto YouTube relatively quickly, so you can catch up the full thing. You can catch up on all the Alien goodness as well. Where is there it is. Just making sure I've got everything. There we go. So what is coming up on Girls Run These Worlds? Well, I am so glad you asked. If only the Notion would load up. Here we go. Alien Destroyer Worlds. Oh, we knew that was going to happen. Do check out though Cryptid Creeks. Yes, we've got a very special VOD of Cryptid Creeks, several VODs actually, with our would-be producer JC Darcy running it for a cracking table. I must say it is absolutely gorgeous. Please check it out. What a great thing. And it's also a UK tabletop designer, Rich from Hatchling Games. Absolutely amazing. So go check that out and share it. It's on the YouTube just now. And and also you can check out the Kickstarter for Cryptid Creeks as well. It's launched I think 2 days ago, and it's already very, very successful, which is always really lovely as well. And I think that's all I'm gonna. What else we got? I think that's all I'm going to do next week. There's loads of stuff coming up. Sorry, there's Monster Hearts 2, Gods of Old Appalachia, Roll for Luck, obviously, as well. We've got a whole ton of things. Oh, Story of Worlds, of course. Upriver, Downriver as well, by Ella Watts. A great game as well. I talked about it last week, the sort of tarot card session as well. Turn the Beat Around with Anne on Saturday as well. All good stuff. So please stick around and check those folks out. I'm going to see if there's anyone we're raiding into. I don't believe we're raiding into anything. No, I hear from the great gods above that we're not raiding into anyone. And I finally just want to thank our wonderful producer for this evening, Arnica, for keeping us safe in chat, for looking after us, and just being generally fucking awesome. So thank you so much for joining us for this. We'll be back next week with the penultimate episode of Destroyer of Worlds, and maybe the world will be destroyed by the time we get there. Who knows? But come join us for that. Keep safe. Keep hydrated, do all the usual things, and we'll see you next time as we do our little alien wave out. Like...